Ethereum is going to absolutely explode and make more millionaires than any coin over the next bull run. It's time to wake up. Bitcoin maximalists are dead. Bitcoin was up 28-3 and it's blown the lead. ETH is the best investment of 2020 and will be the best investment of 2021, at least until it hits one key price point, which I'm going to show you later today. But the question remains, when will Ethereum hit new all-time highs? And by the time the dust settles, where will the price of Ethereum peak at? You guys know I got you. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap gets you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.io. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, especially if you like crypto. Wow, I messed up my own intro. And if you're like me, though, and you love to go long on ETH, then you can trade Ethereum on Bybit, as well as Bitcoin. We've been crushing Ethereum trades lately and want to spread the love. You can sign up at bybit.bitboy.live. They have some killer rewards in the reward hub, including deposit bonuses for people that sign up. Also, if your country is not supported, you can simply use a VPN. Now, experienced traders only, of course. In this video, we are going to be discussing the explosive run Ethereum is about to go on, when new all-time highs are going to be hit, and how high it will go as I release my new official prediction of the price of Ethereum for this bull run. If my institutional FOMO hype video from last week didn't get you hyped up, then you must be a maxi wearing a sleep mask with your fingers in your ears. Maxi see, maxi do. If you want to check out that video, click above. But if you missed it and are too lazy to leave, or you just like looking at me, there's not enough Bitcoin to go around for institutions and corporations. It's running slim already. And this has had a crazy effect many people did not intend. Once large financial entities realize the Bitcoin ship has sailed, they're going to start diving into the next deep blue ocean, and that's Ethereum. Later this week, I'm going to have my new prediction video on Bitcoin, but here's the truth. Bitcoin is looking so bullish that it seems as if a Bitcoin price above $500,000 on this cycle in the next several months becoming more and more likely. And what kind of imprint does that leave on Ethereum? You see, my previous Ethereum price prediction video that I made in a video early in 2020 was based upon the Bitcoin price reaching my prediction of $225K. But I'm having to amend that prediction officially, which will have a reverberating effect on all coin prices. Not my amendment, but what's going on in crypto, especially Ethereum. My previous Ethereum prediction that I'm now officially changing was $9,000. If you followed me for a while, you know that when I make a price prediction, I stick to it. I don't change these daily or weekly or even monthly. I may try to show you guys a wide range of predictions from other people, but for me personally, I do not often change. I actually use formulas based on a variety of factors to come up with these prognostications. And many of you know I nailed the price of Bitcoin all year in 2020. And you see, that's the key to understanding the prices of altcoins. Bitcoin is the guide we have to base our numbers off of. If Bitcoin was sitting at $21,000 or $22,000 today, I'd feel pretty good about my previous prediction of $225K. But it's not. The market is starting to shape up more like 2013 than 2017. If you know anything about that, you would know this means massive gains and that they're going to be coming fast and furiously. So when does this institutional run on Ethereum begin? The number is 1,448. That's Ethereum's previous all-time high hit on the last run. And I remember when it hit that number, my jaw hit the ground. The same place my portfolio would plummet to when I didn't sell the top. Learn that lesson. But this number is key, and outside of the obvious reasons, here's why. Bitcoin and Ethereum are two giants standing outside of the norm. All other cryptocurrencies look up at these two and understand it'll be a long time before any crypto can close the gap on the two giants. They behave in somewhat similar manners because you're watching people who feel like they missed out on Bitcoin pour money into Ethereum, along with, of course, hardcore altcoin enthusiasts. So while Ethereum makes swifter moves to the upside and Bitcoin stair steps its way up more consistently, ultimately they have similar trajectories. Bitcoin hit $20,000 to establish a new all-time high on December 16th. Let's look at how it behaved after it hit that new all-time high. Just a mere 73% run over the following 17 days. If Ethereum establishes a similar track, the price would be coming in at about $2,500 within 3 weeks of hitting $1448. Just a few days ago, the price of Ethereum was sitting at $772, and now it has pretty much firmly established itself above 1,000. The patience we showed when we made our big Bitcoin to ETH trade a few weeks ago paid off with that colossal 20% plus move in a weekend. It's only about a 30% move from here for it to hit new all-time highs. Anytime you can get an Ethereum below this all-time high of 1448, this is going to be your last best chance to get into Ethereum. Pat yourself on the back if you're here. Once the price goes above 1448, it will be time for you to be looking for the next coin that's not reached previous all-time high status. When those coins are gone, you will know we've reached the tipping point of crypto where it's riskier to get in than to sit out. I told so many people, and of course my audience, the Bit Squad, that a sub $600 ETH was your last best chance to get in a few weeks ago. And that bared out to be exactly correct. So how long do you have? Since November, 2 months, Ethereum has made 5 moves of 30% or more to the upside. The last one being 52% at its peak. But when you work out that math, that's an average of a 30% move every 12 days. So you can bet unless this entire market shifts, we're hitting all-time highs in Ethereum by January 17th. And I'll be honest with you, it would not shock me if we hit it in the next 72 hours. But we could also get some stalled sideways action just as easily like we saw during November. But by January 17th, your best opportunity to jump into Ethereum will be over, because you can expect an absolute moon for Ethereum by the middle of February at the latest. And you guys know what that means. You may actually be able to get a date for Valentine's Day for the first time in your life. It will probably have to be an escort, but still. The countdown is on, and I got my bags packed. Do you? But this leaves us with the question of just how high is Ethereum going to go during this bull run? You guys know I believe Bitcoin tops out on September 28th this year. I believe altcoins will top out by Halloween. So what kind of numbers can we be expecting? Well, we have to go back to our old ETH versus Bitcoin chart. At its peak, the price of 1 Ethereum was 15% of the price of 1 Bitcoin. But there were some interesting things going on during that time, and Ethereum was unknown to most people at that point. I think about 11% is a better number to go off of, which occurred in January of 2018 at the peak. And I'm going to be honest with you. I do not believe that the price of 1 Ethereum compared to the price of 1 Bitcoin will reach those same levels and peaks in this run. Why? Well, there's simply more competition in the altcoin market, more good coins. And the smartest companies are buying Bitcoin while there's still supply for them to buy. The companies jumping into Ethereum are going to be second movers, like Ethereum. Because the fact is, the Ethereum potential is so high because of the power of Bitcoin scarcity. Like, Ethereum's utility is great, but right now it's all about the transformation of Ethereum into its own store of value, the way that Bitcoin did. And by the way, a video on the next store of value coin you want to know about is coming out soon, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Be the next coin institutions look to invest in. But there are just so many other great altcoins out there, many built on top of Ethereum, of course, that ETH has got to fight and contend with. So my guess for the peak of this run is that Ethereum will reach 8% of Bitcoin's price, meaning it has a lot of room to run. So where does this leave us? Well, here's the thing, guys. The peak of Ethereum won't be reached the same day Bitcoin is at its all-time high. Probably on the downside of Bitcoin's action, we'll see the peak of Ethereum. Now, I know my new Bitcoin prediction, but you guys will have to wait a couple days to find out. But when I work the math and take into account the time gap between Bitcoin and Ethereum's all-time highs, I now believe that the peak price for Ethereum occurring in mid-October this year will be exactly 3 times my previous prediction of 9K. Feeling pretty good about a $27,000 Ethereum. Mind-blowing. That's the word on the street. Gang, 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 gang. Now I'll tell you this. The 10 Ethereum or so that I handed out as Christmas presents this holiday season are going to have me winning Relative of the Year for eternity. But let me know what you guys think. Is this number insane, or are you with me? Holler at me down below in the comments. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.